Creating content is hard, and that's why in this video, I'm going to share how I schedule my content as a busy person so that you can relax a little bit and still get stuff done. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Financial Freedom System YouTube channel, where I help you upgrade your mindset, money, and more so you can live a life full of financial freedom and purpose. Since you're watching this video, I'm going to make two assumptions of you. The first is that you currently create or want to create some form of content, and the second is the idea that you live a busy life. And the good news for you is that both of those things are a reality for me, and I'm going to show you how I've structured my life so that I can do it all. But the truth is, it's probably much more simple than most people realize if you have a good plan. And to help you with that, I'm going to give you my plan right now. And it pops up on screen here. You can see that it's called my sustainable content schedule. And it's not the glitz and the glamoury name, but more importantly for me is it works, it's consistent, and it's sustainable. This is something that I use week after week, month after month, year after year. And I know that I'm going to continue using this because it is sustainable. And when I look back at my kind of time on YouTube, there have been months when I've been able to crush out videos almost every day, or at least multiple videos within a week. And then there's been other times as well when it's like, if I get one video out a month, then I consider that a win. And one of the most obvious but hardest to achieve indicators about success on YouTube is actually the fact that you can show up week after week, month after month, year after year, and just be consistent. So this is a 7-day plan that I use to make sure my content is focused, it's high quality, and I can actually make all of this stuff happen on an average of 1 hour per day. Let's take a look at the schedule now. On day one, I write my script. And for all the different forms of content that I create, this process can look different almost every time that I do it, because there are times when I will go ahead and write out every single word and I'll create a full script. So I'll type that up on my computer, and when I sit down to record something like a YouTube video, I will set a teleprompter up. And there's times that I don't necessarily have that time, or I don't need the word for word kind of scripting that would normally take if there's a point that I really wanted to drive home. Sometimes instead of a full script, I'll just use bullet points, which focus on the main points, the main topics, the main ideas that I want to drive home. And then I just let kind of the recording session go from there, right? Full script, bullet points. You might also want to write out like a blog or a post for your website if you are doing that form of content creation. If you want to create a sales funnel as well for different products or services that you have, you need to write out and plan and research your script. On day two, I record my pillar content, and that pillar content is the main content that you've got. The main reason you're getting off your butt and you're choosing, instead of to just scroll through your phone and consume content, you're choosing to create content. And that's so rewarding for people for so many different reasons. For me, I love YouTube. It's my favorite platform. That is why I do everything through YouTube here, and everything else just serves the purpose of driving traffic and attention here to my YouTube channel. So it could be the pillar content is a YouTube video. Maybe it is a podcast. Maybe it's an interview that you've recorded with somebody. Maybe it is a blog post or something different. You record that pillar content. And this is a process that can take a long time, especially if you are maybe new to the game, or maybe you don't have the space or the spaces that you want to have. There's a few tips that I have for you to make sure that you can make this process much more efficient. So for me, for example, I have one area that I don't change. You kind of see the dresser behind me. It's set up. I don't really put stuff on that. I've got my desk here, and it's in a room that I don't touch. So if I want to record a YouTube video, I just walk in here, I click the lights on, I press the record button, and it's all set up, fairly easy and ready to go. That's one tip. Another tip would be to batch the content that you create. So if I was recording 4 videos on YouTube within a month, rather than tearing down and setting up my space every single time, I might want to set it up once. I might want to then record those 4 videos, and then I can tear my space down as well. Recording the content, whatever type of content you create, can take a long time. So it's really important that you're efficient and that you really drive the point home after you've taken the time to plan, research, and prepare a script. On day 3, I edit the pillar content. This is that long form content that I'm really focusing people into. And for me, it's YouTube. So I spend a lot of time using Final Cut Pro, and I am sitting at my computer editing. And this has been a journey for me, because when I started, I knew nothing about editing. I didn't know what plugins were and how they could make my life easier. I didn't know if I should use Final Cut Pro, which is a pretty simple and easy to use system, or if I should use Adobe Premiere Pro. And I was using that one. I switched over to this one for a variety of reasons. It saved me a lot of money. It's also saved me a lot of time, and the quality of my videos definitely look better as well. So that's a win-win-win, in my opinion, if you ask me. But you take time editing your content. After that, on day 4, you release your pillar content. So this is when you take that main piece of content, whether it was a YouTube video, a podcast interview, it was a blog post, or a sales funnel, whatever, you release that out to the world for people to see. And for me, I love when I get to release a YouTube video, because it's done. I've put a lot of attention and energy into it, and now the world gets to see it. More importantly for me, and the whole mission as to what I do, is the reason I did it is to get out there, to challenge people, to encourage people to really upgrade their mindset, money, and more, so that they can live a life full of financial freedom and purpose. And that's cool when I get those messages of people that said, hey, I watched your latest YouTube video. It helped me think about how my money and my values are closely related, and how I'm either living within those or I am not, and I need to refocus. Or if it's about investing, or if it's about something different. I like challenging people, and the YouTube video is basically the medium that allows me to do that. So you release that out. On day 5, I follow up by sending an email newsletter. And this is something that I haven't done for the longest time, because I thought emails were just old and outdated. I would get plenty of emails from creators that I would follow, and I think it's worthy of subscribing to their newsletter for. And that would be something that I would always appreciate and enjoy, as long as they're not being annoying and they're not just selling stuff, right? If I create that main pillar content and I want my audience to see it, if they don't catch it on day 4 when I release it, that follow-up the very next day saying basically, hey, I wanted you to know I've got this free video out on YouTube that's going to help you with this topic. Here's a link to check it out. I think people are really appreciative of that. And there are other ways that you're going to go ahead and promote your material. When I release a new YouTube video, I like to let people know on Instagram that it's up there. I like to share it on Facebook. And if there's a few people, or maybe you have like a group of people that really follow your stuff, there's ways to share that out there as well. So you're basically promoting everything on day 5 with email newsletters and other ways. On day 6, this is when you get a little bit more focused, and you can either record and or edit short form content. You know how important short form content is. The platforms are pushing people short form content all the time, whether it's on YouTube with shorts, whether it's on Instagram with reels, whether it's on TikTok with TikToks, right? Short form content is a huge part of your success to being a content creator now. And so that's why I either edit down the long form pillar content that I've created, and I can make maybe some multiple short form pieces of content with that. And I also said record, because there's a different style to short form content. There's a much more, not that what I'm doing here isn't authentic, but like I've got a desk, I've got a background, I've got lights here. It's so much easier, and it feels so much more natural to sit down with my phone on an Instagram Live, for example, and see the questions come in, and I'm able to respond to people in real time. Or with short form content as well, people can ask you questions, you can respond back to them. You can create simple, super focused videos that answer the one question that people are looking for, and you can deliver that to a huge audience, basically all around the world. So you might want to record brand new stuff, or you might want to edit your longer form content down into shorter, more focused clips. And then on day 7, you release that short form content. And this can really drip over the next few days. As you're going back into this cycle, you're writing your script, recording your pillar content, editing as you're going back into that cycle, you can have multiple pieces of short form content come out that the whole focus is that they are driving content, driving traffic, driving your audience members. And you can think about it this way as well, potential clients back to your pillar content. So whether you're talking about a video that I've made like on investing, right? I have a long form content that shows you how I use a specific app to invest my spare change. That is my long form content. It might be 8, 10, 15 minutes. I have multiple 3, 4, 5 clips showing people very specific things that I highlighted or that I talked about, or maybe that I didn't have the attention to or I forgot about in that long form pillar content. And with that short form content, reels, shorts, TikToks, I can drive people back to that main piece of traffic, which is really where I want people in my sales funnel, and where I know that yes, this short form content can help people, but more importantly, my long form content can help people a lot more. So that is the cycle. At the very bottom, I just want you to think about this. The more content you make, the more people will enter your funnel. And more importantly, the more people will figure out what you do and why you do it. This is a 7-day cycle. It is a sustainable content schedule because you can do this consistently with about an hour of work a day. I think that's where I'm at right now. Within 7 hours, I can do a lot. And this is kind of that framework that I use to make that stuff happen. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to see people in the comment section now kind of going at me and say, that's impossible in an hour a day, or that's impossible to keep that schedule. But I don't think that is. If you miss a day, just reset, go back at it. If you are not at the point where this takes you an hour a day, I get that, because I had none of these skills when I first started my YouTube channel. I didn't know how to edit videos. I didn't know how to record them. I didn't know how to plan them. I never thought I'd be coming up with a framework and a schedule that would work for people and really help them be able to create content in a sustainable way. Whether they are working, whether they are traveling, whether they have a family, whether they live in a place that they don't think it works for content creation, this is a framework that you can use. And if it doesn't work for you, take it and change it. Please don't think that this is the only way to do things, the only way to be successful at all. If it doesn't work for you, take what I've done, delete some things. Take what I've done and change some things. Listen, if it doesn't work for you at all, don't use it. Use somebody else's. This is something that I know that's worked for me, and I know if you're willing to try it, it's going to give you a lot of focus. It's going to help you create high quality content. And there's going to be a purpose as to what you do and why you do it. So that's my video. If it helped you, please hit the thumbs up button, drop your questions and comments in the comment section down below. And most importantly, if you want to learn how you can live a life full of financial freedom and purpose, please hit the subscribe button.